Hello, hi, how are you guys? Somebody asked me this question that I have an engineering degree and I want to work as a quant. Tell me how I should go about it. First of all, if you have an engineering degree, you already have technical qualification. So you are eligible to work as a quant. You can make a good career in quantitative finance, all related fields in quantitative finance, such as in risk management, model development, validation, model audit, etc., etc. But there are a few things to know. And this question was asked to me by someone from Africa, I think. So I do not know the job environment over there, but I will talk about some of the things that I have experienced over the last 1 decade or so of working in quantitative field, and I'll also talk about the situation in India. Okay, so if you have an engineering degree, yes, you can work as a quant, and I'm sure you have learned a lot about mathematics and coding, right? A lot of this can be used in finance, right? If you have learned, let's say, electromagnetic equation in physics and you know calculus, you have studied quantum mechanics, you do have some experience, hands-on experience with MATLAB, right? So if you have this sort of experience, I think you are on a good path already, and you can simply go ahead in doing some certifications, or you can go ahead in reading some books, doing some projects, learning on your own from YouTube or from different blogs, and get started with, let's say, an internship, and then you can start applying at different places and get your first job, and then from there it will be much easier. Getting your first job is very difficult. So that could take about 6 to 8 months, sometimes even 1 year. But that's not an issue, right? That's with almost all professions, right? You will not get a job right away after university, right? You have to study, you have to get certifications done, you have to learn a lot, and then applying, and all these things do take time. In the Indian context, let me tell you that when I started my career 10 12 years back, well, engineers were not the most preferred one for quant jobs. Many quant jobs, especially in banks and all, people were expecting someone to have a master's degree in statistics and economics or MBA finance from IIMs. That is no longer the case. In fact, it is the opposite now. You will find that there are many engineering graduates with just a bachelor's degree, without even master's degree, working as quants in different banks. So that thing has changed now. Engineers are also quite preferred in quantitative activities. Do note, however, that in many banks there is this requirement that you need to have a master's degree. So even if you have a BTech from very prestigious engineering universities such as IITs, you will still not be eligible for those jobs. But there are many non-regulatory controls also. There is no such rule. Even in regulatory controls, I'm sure there are many banks which are allowing the undergrads to even work, right? People without a post graduation. And if you have MTech, right, then you are already having the required qualification, right? Master's degree is good enough, and if you have PhD, that's even better. Doesn't matter in which field, as long as it is in some sort of quantitative field. You name it: geography, geology, physics, maths, chemistry, engineering, economics, finance, management, you name it, you are having a good qualification already, right? One other thing I'll tell you that in investment banks and all, like JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley, right? It's difficult to find a role there, actually, as a fresher, as a fresh engineering graduate, unless you are from IITs. You have a computer science degree already. It's a different thing. But if you get some experience elsewhere, then you can easily get jobs even in the investment banks. And the easiest way to get the first job in quant is to work in consulting firms. In India, many consulting firms, whether it's CRISIL, whether it's big four consulting firms like EY, KPMG, PwC, they are having hard time, actually, hiring quants. So that's the low hanging fruit. So you can easily prepare yourself to get those jobs, and the interviews are not that difficult as compared to, say, working at Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley, where you will be asked so many questions. In most likely scenario, you will not even be getting a call from them for the interview. That could also happen unless you have degrees from IITs. But you can certainly get opportunities elsewhere in smaller banks or consulting firms, or even technology consulting firms such as TCS, Infosys. Those places also you have many roles related to quantitative modeling, so you can get those jobs pretty easily if you try. Right. So the short answer to this question is that yes, you can definitely make a career in quantitative risk management or in quantitative finance if you are from engineering background. You do not have a master's degree or you do not have a PhD, but you just have a bachelor degree in engineering. You certainly can. I'll also tell you that in fintechs, right, companies like PhonePe in India or Paytm or Grade or many of these fintech firms, which are slowly venturing into retail or small medium SME financing. They are having risk management team, and they are having modeling team, and they're hiring quants also. These are very data science related roles which require some level of quantitative finance also. So if you have a big mix of both, I think that is an ideal job for an engineering graduate, because you have product experience, you have coding experience, and you also know a bit of finance. So and startups or these small tech firms, right, they prefer someone who can do multiple things. So that's really good for you. Right, but that's not the case with big banks. For example, they have a lot of money, they can hire just specialist, and there the chances of you getting hired is bit low compared to these smaller firms. So you can get started over there. Another thing is that you can already do some certifications in quantitative finance, whether it's on the side, right, while you are doing your BTechs or your BSc engineering, or MTech, MSc engineering. You can already start with writing FRM, for example, FRM exam, or doing CQF. Very expensive, but if you can afford it, then go for it. Or some part-time quantitative finance certification. There are many people who are giving that, many organizations also. Not a lot in India, but still there are some. Right, you can find a mentor also. We can mentor you. I can certainly mentor you if you want. Let me know. You can write to me, and yeah, do some projects. I think that should be enough, right? Because there is a huge shortage of people in this particular field, and if you do try, I'm quite sure you will not have a problem to find opportunities. And getting the first opportunity is important. After that, it becomes much easier, right? And don't get intimidated by finance or risk management accounting part. Quantitative finance is more about mathematics and coding, less about finance and economics and accounting. Okay, a lot of people from non-financial background, they get intimidated with that when they start first, but that is not that should not be the case, right? You should not be worried about not having knowledge about finance. That's acceptable, not a problem at all. As long as you're good with mathematics and coding and statistical analysis, I think you can easily find opportunities there, right? If you have further questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You can comment also below. Let me know. Thanks. See you guys.